So here it says, so factorize completely each of the following expressions. Now, for this question here, part I, x and y are common to both terms. So we're going to factor out x and we're going to factor out y. And then open bracket, close bracket. Now, if we factor out xy from the first term here, we are going to be left with y. And if we factor out xy from the second term here, we are going to be left with x. So this is what we have left when we factorize. So let us look at part 2. It's saying 3x squared plus x minus 10. So this is a quadratic expression. So what we're going to find is A is equal to 3, B is equal to 1, and C is equal to minus 10. Now we need to find A times C, that's equal to 3 times minus 10, and that's going to give us minus 30. Now what we need to do, we need to find factors of minus 30, that when we multiply them together, we get minus 30, and when we add them, we get B. So the factors are going to be 6 and minus 5. So 6 and minus 5. So these are factors of minus 30. When we multiply them together, 6 times negative 5 is going to give us negative 30. So that is the product. And when we add them together, 6 minus 5, we're going to get 1, which is B here. So therefore, we can rewrite this quadratic expression here. We can rewrite it as 3x squared plus 6x minus 5x minus 10. Notice we haven't changed anything. We just replace the middle term, that is x, with the factors. Because 6x minus 5x is going to give us back x. Now, we are going to factorize by grouping. So we're going to factorize the first two terms and then the last two terms. Now, what is common to 3x squared and 6x? So it is going to be 3x. And what is going to be in the bracket for the first two terms? It's going to be x plus 2. Now, once we find the first bracket, we can write it back. X plus 2. We need to find a number to multiply this second bracket by to give us back the last two terms. So that is minus 5 and minus 10. So if I put minus 5 here, you notice if I multiply negative 5 by x, I'm going to get negative 5x. And if I multiply negative 5 by 2, I'm going to get minus 10. So there I'm good. Now, what is common to these two terms here? X plus 2. So I'm going to factor it out. X plus 2. And what is left if I factor it out? If I factor out x plus 2, I'm going to be left with 3x minus 5. So that is the final answer. X plus 2 times 3x minus 5. So part B, it says solve for n. Now, before we can go ahead and solve for n, let us fix this up. So this is going to be 4n, 4 to the power n, divided by 4 to the power of 3 is equal to 1 over 4. Now, let us use our laws of indices. Now, remember when we are dividing two numbers with the same base, we can subtract the powers, right? So therefore, this is going to be 4n minus 3, and that's equal to 1 over 4. Now, I can multiply both sides by 4. So I'm going to get 4 to the power of n minus 3 times 4 is equal to 1. Now I am multiplying on the left hand side by 4. So in laws of indices, when we are multiplying numbers of the same base, we add the powers. So this is going to be, now notice that there's a 1 here. So this is going to be 4 to the power of n minus 3 plus 1 is equal to 1. So let's fix this up right here. Let's fix up right here. Let's fix up right here. That's the power. So this is going to be 4 to the power of n, negative 3 plus 1, that's going to give me negative 2, and that is equal to 1. Now, recall that any number raised to a power of 0 is equal to 1. So 4 raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Any number raised to the power of 0 is 1. Right? So therefore, in order to solve for n, I need to equate n minus 2 is equal to 0. So therefore, n must be equal to 2. Let's move on to the next question. Now it says the lengths of 3 sides of a trapezium are shown on the diagram below. The area of the trapezium is 750 square units. Part 1, it says write down an expression in terms of P and Q for the area of the trapezium. Now recall that the area of a trapezium is a half A plus B times the height. Right? Now A plus B, so if we call here A and if we call here B, and the height is going to be 6P. Right? So therefore, the expression for the area of the trapezium is going to be a half 4P plus 3Q times 6P. Right? So that is the expression. We can simplify it if we want. So cancel the 2 into the 6. We get 3. So we have 4P plus 3Q times 3P. Now, let's move on to part 2. It says, given that Q is equal to 2P, determine the value of P. So Q is equal to 2P. Right? So all we're going to do in here, we're going to replace the Q with 2P. So this is going to be 4P plus 3 times, let me use a different color, 2P. That's me replacing the Q with 2P, close bracket, times 3P. And now in order for us to determine the value of P, we need to equate this to the 750. Remember, we are dealing with the area. They told us in the question. They told us in the question that the area is 750. So we need to equate this to 750. Now we can simplify. So this is going to be 4P plus 6P times 3P is equal to 750. Now 4P plus 6P, that is going to give us 10P. So 10P times 3P equals 750. Now 10P times 3P, we're going to get 30P squared, and that's equal to 750. Now we need to find P. So if we divide both sides by 30, we're going to get P squared is equal to 750 divided by 30. Cancel the 0. 3 into 3, 1. 3 into 7 goes 2 times. And 1. 3 into 15 goes 5. So what we have here, let's go over here. We have P squared is equal to 25. That means P is equal to, if we take the square root of both sides, we get plus or minus 5. Now we are dealing with dimensions here. We are dealing with dimensions. So therefore, P cannot be negative. Right? So therefore, P is equal to 5. So here it says, factorize each of the following algebraic expressions. Now we have part A says x squared minus 49 it's not so visible, but it's saying x squared minus 49. Let me write that down for you. Now, we can rewrite the 49 as 7 squared. So that is going to be x squared minus 7 squared. Now what we have here is a difference of 2 squares. So when we factorize this, remember the aim of factorization is to obtain a product. So this is going to be x minus 7, x plus 7. That is the difference of 2 squares. Now, part B, it says x squared plus 2x minus 35. So this is a quadratic expression. So in this case here, we have a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to minus 35. So what we want to do, we want to take the product of a times c, and that is going to give us minus 35. Now we need to find factors of negative 35. When we multiply them, we get negative 35, and when we add them, we get b, which is 2. So what are the factors? Which 2 factors we can use? So let us choose 7 and negative 5. Now 7 times negative 5 is equal to negative 35, and 7 plus negative 5 is equal to 2, which is b. So these are our 2 factors. When we factorize this, because the coefficient of x squared is 1, so we have a here is 1. We can just simply put x plus 7 and x minus 5. So once a is equal to 1, once we find our 2 factors, we can simply put the result of the factorization. Right? Now, let us look at part 2. Part 2 is saying, hence, simplify the expression x squared minus 49 over x squared plus 2x minus 35. Now, once we see here hence,